Prayer is power. When you pray, then you are in touch with your higher consciousness. Pray. Pray. Prayer is power. Pray. 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 Prayer is power. Prayer is power. What are you going to do? Pray. 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 When you pray, then you are in touch with your higher consciousness. Pray. 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 Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Pray. Prayer is power. When you pray, then you are in touch with your higher consciousness. Pray. Pray. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Pray. Pray. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. What are you going to do? Pray. Pray. Pray.
Welcome to everyone to Dr. Pillai's Religion of Religions YouTube channel. Today is Friday, November 4th, 2022, and we're about to do an in-depth planetary puja using the chart of now based on my current location, which is right now in New Mexico in the United States. My name is Swamini Valli. I am a Pillai Center teacher and an AstroVed astrologer, and I'm very happy to be hosting this program Monday through Friday on this channel. Dr. Pillai has said we are all affected by the planets. They are agents of our karmas. And in doing the puja, we are connecting with the light being that is associated with each of these planets and stars and inviting their positive energies to come into our lives and also into our world. In doing the puja, I'm using the South Indian style layout of the chart. And in this layout, each of these 12 little boxes is representing a zodiac sign. And there is a link below the video for a tutorial video about the South Indian style layout, if you are unfamiliar with it. I have drawn the chart of now, which you're seeing right now on the screen, on a blackboard in chalk, and that blackboard is on a side table here. And I'll be using that blackboard for doing the puja. I have a container of water. I have a lit tea light. I have a hand fan. I have a bell. And I also have a bowl of fresh flower petals, which I will be placing on the blackboard in appropriate spots during the puja. To start the puja, I'm dipping my ring finger of my right hand into the water, and I'm sprinkling a few drops of water on each side of the blackboard chart to purify the space for the puja, sprinkling a few drops of water on my own head to symbolically purify me, and I'm sending a few drops of water out into space towards all of you, so that whether you're watching it live or later on a replay, you are also symbolically purified for this puja. With most of the Vedic rituals, we always start with invoking Ganesha, the archetype who removes obstacles. So we start with him right now. Om Shring Gang, Om Shring Gang, Om Shring Gang. We ask Ganesha to come and to remove all obstacles from this puja and to remove all obstacles today in the lives of the participants. And we thank him for his help with this. Now I do a short Tamil chant asking all of the planets to be beneficial towards us. Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atiyar Arvarku Mikave, Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atiyar Arvarku Mikave, Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Hatiar Avarku Mikave. We ask all of the planets to be beneficial today towards us and towards our world. We thank Saint Yanasamunda for teaching this chant, and we are grateful to Dr. Pillai for sharing it with us. Now, we're going to honor the time elements that are active in my local area. Starting with the planet that rules the day. Today is Friday, which is ruled by Venus. I'm going to put the flower petals when I say Namaha on Venus. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Next, we honor the star that the moon is in. At the moment, the moon is in a star called Purva Bhadrapada, and I'm going to put the flower petals on the moon. Om Purva Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Purva Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Purva Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Next, we honor the Tithi, or the moon phase. And again, I put the flower petals on the moon. Right now, in my area, it's the 12th waxing moon, which is called Dwadasi in Sanskrit. Dr. Pillai said for the Tithi, or the moon phase, we would use the Sanskrit name, followed by the word Devi, invoking the light being associated with that moon phase. I put the flower petals on the moon. Om Dwadasi Devye Namaha. Om Dwadasi Devye Namaha. Om Dwadasi Devye Namaha. Now we honor the planet that's ruling the hour. And in my local area, that's Venus. I put more flower petals on Venus. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Now we honor the time elements of the yoga and the karana. Dr. Pillai said for these time elements, we would not use flower petals. We would just say their names 3 times each. The yoga that's active right now is one called Vyagata, which has energies that are fierce. And the karana that's active right now is one called Bhava, which has energies of creativity. We'll say the yoga, Vyagata, Vyagata, Vyagata. And we say the karana, Bhava, Bhava, Bhava. Now, we turn our attention to the chart of the moment. Dr. Pillai said we would always start the puja with honoring the planet that rules the ascendant sign. Ascendant sign on this chart is represented with the words AC, and it's this ascendant at the moment, or the sign coming up on the eastern horizon in my area is Libra. He said we would start with honoring the planet that rules the ascendant sign. Libra is ruled by Venus. I put more flower petals on Venus. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Now, starting with the ascendant sign, we're going to go around the chart in a clockwise direction, honoring the planets as they appear in the different signs. Today, in the ascendant of Libra, we have 4 planets: Mercury, the Sun, Ketu, and Venus. Mercury, the Sun, and Ketu are all in the same star. So I'm going to invoke those 3 planets before I invoke the star. I start with Mercury. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Next, we honor the Sun for being in Libra. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Next, we honor Ketu for being in Libra. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Mercury, the sun, and Ketu are all in a star called Swati, a star that gives energies for independence. I place the flower petals across all three of these planets. Om Swatye Namaha. Om Swatye Namaha. Om Swatye Namaha. Swati star is ruled by Vayu, the archetype who rules the air element and also is the father of Hanuman. Om Vayuve Namaha. Om Vayuve Namaha. Om Vayuve Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Swati star, which is Rahu. I put the flower petals on Rahu. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. Now we honor Venus for being in Libra. I put the flower petals on Venus. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Venus has moved into the star Vishaka, a star that has energies for success, victory, triumph. I put the flower petals on Venus. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Vishaka star is ruled by a pair of archetypes, Indra and Agni. Indra can give blessings for leadership and courage, and Agni gives blessings for purification and transformation. We invoke both of them. Om Indra Agnihe Namaha. Om Indra Agnihe Namaha. Om Indra Agnihe Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Tula or Libra, a zodiac sign with energies of balance, fairness, harmony, today containing Mercury, planet of communication, and also a planet of business. The sun, which is our soul, and a planet so important for our health and our self-esteem. Ketu, sometimes called the saintly planet, and Venus, planet of happiness, love, material plane comforts. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. Now, going in a clockwise direction. The next Rasi or sign that has a planet in it is Makara or Capricorn, which today has Pluto and Saturn in it. We start with honoring Pluto. Om Krum Kruntankaya Namaha. Om Krum Kruntankaya Namaha. Om Krum Kruntankaya Namaha. Pluto is in a star called Uttara Ashada, a star that can give blessings for long-lasting success. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals on Pluto. Om Uttara Shadaye Namaha. Om Uttara Shadaye Namaha. Om Uttara Shadaye Namaha. Uttarashada star is ruled by the 10 Visvadevas, 10 archetypes who each embody a unique, divine, universal principle. We ask for blessings from all 10 of them, and I put the flower petals on Pluto. Om Visvadevasye Namaha. Om Visvatevasye Namaha. Om Visvatevasye Namaha. Uttarashada star is ruled by the sun. I put the flower petals on the sun. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Now we honor Saturn for being in Capricorn. I put the flower petals on Saturn. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Saturn is in a star called Dhanishta. This is a star that can give blessings for prosperity, music, good reputation. I put the flower petals on Saturn. Om Dhanishtaye Namaha. Om Dhanishtaye Namaha. Om Dhanishtaye Namaha. Dhanishta star is ruled by the 8 Vasus, 8 light beings who each rule different spheres of existence. We ask for blessings from all 8 of them, and I put the flower petals on Saturn. Om Vasusye Namaha. Om Vasusye Namaha. Om Vasusye Namaha. Dhanishta star is ruled by Mars. I put the flower petals on Mars. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Capricorn, which is Saturn. I put more flower petals on Saturn. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Makara or Capricorn, a zodiac sign that can activate ancient past life skills and abilities. Today, containing Pluto, a planet that can help with rationality and science, and Saturn, a planet that can give blessings for patience, perseverance, structure, and compassion. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with a planet in it is Kumbha or Aquarius, which today contains Neptune, who is retrograde and extra powerful. I put the flower petals on Neptune. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Neptune is in a star called Purvabhadrapada, a star that can give blessings for prosperity, charity, and purification. I put the flower petals on Neptune. Om Purvabhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Purvabhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Purvabhadrapadaye Namaha. Purvabhadrapada star is ruled by Aja Ekapada, an archetype who can help us experience deeper levels of stillness and forgiveness. Om Aja Ekapadaye Namaha. Om Aja Ekapadaye Namaha. Om Aja Ekapadaye Namaha. Purvabhadrapada star is ruled by Jupiter. I put the flower petals on Jupiter. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Aquarius, which is Saturn. I put the flower petals on Saturn. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Kumbha or Aquarius, the most humanitarian and service-oriented of all the zodiac signs, today containing Neptune, a planet that can help us with listening to our own intuition, helping us with paying attention to our own inner life. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Meena or Pisces, which today contains the moon and also Jupiter, who is retrograde. We start with honoring the moon. I put the flower petals on him. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. The moon is in Purva Bhadrapada star. I put the flower petals on the moon. Om Purva Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Purva Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Purva Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Purva Bhadrapada star is ruled by Aja Ekapada. I put the flower petals on the moon. Om Aja Ekapadaye Namaha. Om Aja Ekapadaye Namaha. Om Aja Ekapadaye Namaha. Purva Bhadrapada star is ruled by Jupiter. I put the flower petals on Jupiter. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Now we honor Jupiter for being in Pisces, and I put more flower petals on him. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Jupiter is in a star called Uttara Bhadrapada. Dr. Pillai says this is a star that can help us with business development. I put the flower petals on Jupiter. Om Uttara Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Uttara Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Uttara Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Uttara Bhadrapada star is ruled by Ayurbundya, an archetype who can help to guard treasures and valuables. We ask him to guard our treasures and valuables, as well as our treasure that is the earth itself. I put the flower petals on Jupiter. Om Ayurbundyaye Namaha. Om Ayurbundyaye Namaha. Om Ayurbundyaye Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Uttara Bhadrapada star. This is Saturn. I put the flower petals on Saturn. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Pisces, which is Jupiter. I put more flower petals on Jupiter. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Meena or Pisces, the most transcendental and metaphysical of all the zodiac signs, today containing the moon, which is our mind and our emotions, and Jupiter, a planet that helps with everything related to spiritual teachings. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with a planet in it is Misha or Aries, which today contains Rahu and Uranus, who is retrograde. Rahu and Ketu are always retrograde, and the sun and the moon are always direct. I don't say Rahu is retrograde because he always is retrograde. We honor Rahu and Uranus before we invoke the star, as both of these planets are in the same star. I start with Rahu. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. Next, we honor Uranus. Om Hram Prajapataye Namaha. Om Hram Prajapataye Namaha. Om Hram Prajapataye Namaha. Rahu and Uranus are in a star called Bharani, a star with a tremendous amount of divine feminine Shakti or energy or power. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals across both Rahu and Uranus. Om Bharaniye Namaha. Om Bharaniye Namaha. Om Bharaniye Namaha. Bharani star is ruled by Yama. Among other things, Yama is an archetype of justice. Om Yamaye Namaha. Om Yamaye Namaha. Om Yamaye Namaha. Bharani star is ruled by Venus. I put the flower petals on Venus. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Aries, which is Mars. I put the flower petals on Mars. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Misha, or Aries, a fire sign with very active energies. Today, containing Rahu, a planet that can help us to think outside the box, and Uranus, a planet that can help with high intelligence, success in life, and also help us with astrology. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with a planet in it is Mithuna or Gemini, which today contains Mars, and Mars right now is retrograde. We honor Mars, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Mars is in a star called Mrigashira. Among other things, this is a star that can give us the curiosity and interest to learn new things, have new experiences, do adventures. We put the flower petals on Mars. Om Mrigashiraye Namaha. Om Mrigashiraye Namaha. Om Mrigashiraye Namaha. Mrigashira star is ruled by Soma, a liquefied form of the moon. The moon does have control over some liquids, such as the sap in trees, the tides in the ocean. And Soma is a liquefied form of the moon, in which he is a divine nectar, an Amrita, a nectar of immortality. We honor Soma, and I put the flower petals on Mars. Om Somaye Namaha. Om Somaye Namaha. Om Somaye Namaha. Mrigashira star is ruled by Mars. I put the flower petals on Mars. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Now We honor the planet that rules Gemini, which is Mercury. I put the flower petals on Mercury. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Matuna or Gemini, a zodiac sign with a great range of energies, today containing Mars, a planet who is both a warrior and a healer. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. Now, I'm taking a lit tea light and holding it in the air above the blackboard that has the chart drawn in chalk and has all the piles of flower petals that we've offered. And in the air, I'm circling the tea light 3 times in a clockwise direction around the chart, offering all these divine elements, all these divine beings that we just invoked, the element of light. Now I take a hand fan to offer the element of air. And I'm passing that above the chart 3 times in a clockwise direction, waving it, offering air and a cooling breeze. And now I ring a bell, offering the element of sound. Now I make prayer hands, and I make sincere prayer to all of these divine beings that we have just invoked, asking them to send their positive blessings into the lives of all of us, our families, our friends, our neighbors, our colleagues, our homes, our workplaces, our schools, our communities, our countries, and indeed the entire world. May everyone on this planet have healthy food to eat, clean water to drink, a safe place to live, good clothes to wear, clean air to breathe, access to health care, good education, sustainable jobs, and may everyone on this planet have love in their life, now and always. I pray for enlightened leaders, enlightened citizens, enlightened laws, enlightened countries, and entire enlightened civilizations. I ask for blessings for all of my teachers, past, present, and to come. And I ask for blessings for all of my students, past, present, and to come. And I make a bow. You can continue to make your own prayers in silence for about a minute, and then we can do some short Q&A if you have questions. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Peace to the body, peace to the mind, peace to the soul, peace to the environment, peace, peace, peace. May we all go about our day or our evening in peace. Thank you all very much for joining us. I truly appreciate your participation and your support. Right now, we have time to answer a few questions. If you want to have a question and post it in the chat, and I will do my very best to answer it. Yesterday, someone asked if I use fresh flower petals every day. And the answer to that is yes. Although I don't go to the market every day, I buy several bunches and keep them in water. I do use fresh petals every day. And then later, I put the petals out into the yard, out in the ground, in a place where no one walks, so that they are returned back to the earth. Ranak is mentioning Saturn is now going direct. Can you please comment on this change? Yes, he went direct a few days back. And I had stopped saying that Saturn was retrograde because he's now direct. So Saturn moving forward for some people is going to maybe help some of their projects come through a little bit easier. While he's retrograde and extra powerful, some people may find him slowing things down for things that they're trying to do, because he is a very slow-moving planet. I see that Ronnie has put an important announcement into the chat, which I should also say something about. On Sunday, North America, at least in the United States, Canada, and I believe that the northern part, at least of Mexico, will all go off of daylight savings. Our clocks are going to fall back an hour. And so that means if you live in another part of the world, while I'm still doing the puja at 8 o'clock Mountain Time, my time, for some of you, it's going to affect what time you come. And so you need to know that this program will be taking place an hour later for you if you're not part of this shift from daylight savings onto standard time. So you need to be aware of that. And I will be hopefully putting a reminder into the chat about that as well next week. But it's that time of the year where we do this funny thing of changing our clocks. And then it does impact how people in the other part of the world that don't do this daylight savings thing are impacted. So thank you, Ronnie, for putting that into the chat. So Saturn going direct means that for some people, he'll be moving into Aquarius again sooner. And for some people, that might start their sade sade. For some people, it might end their sade sate. But it means he's, got a free path ahead to move from Capricorn into Aquarius, and that will trigger other things when he makes that movement into Aquarius, which I think is happening in January in 2023. So it will have impact for some people in that way with him moving forward like that. So that was a very quick answer. I do need to, maybe I can give more explanation on Monday, Ranak, but today I need to end this session so that Ronnie has a chance to set up with the Zoom for another call that's coming up for the Shrimbrazi community call. So on Fridays, we end a bit early. Okay, those were announcements for today. It was a good question. I'll take it up in more detail on Monday. Namaste, everyone. The light in me is honoring the light in you. May light encompass all.